Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel for yet another unboxing video. Now you guys knows what's coming. You already saw that thumbnail and clicked on it. So why don't we just get this little package from DHL and Smart Doll Land open, shall we? Alrighty, so let's just snap to it. So as you guys know from the thumbnail and title of this video, we are going to be opening our Smart Doll package, which has the bodysuits in it. So I'm super excited for this. Because when it was announced, I was really excited to have some kind of stain prevention for smart dolls. However, it is popularly known that smart dolls... I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to open this DHL package thing here. I think I can just cut it. So, anyways, as you know, smart dolls are made out of vinyl, which is very porous and can stain easily. But smart dolls have a special way of making their vinyl to be a little bit more stain preventative than some of the other doll companies out there. Now, if they're not infallible, smart dolls still do get stains if you wear really dark clothing that's really heavily dyed and all that stuff. So they do stain. It's not like they don't, but their vinyl skin, even though it's called soft vinyl, is a little bit harder. And when it's harder, it closes the pores in the vinyl so it doesn't absorb the dye as much. But Danny Chu has decided to make bodysuits anyways because some of the apparel that he's been making lately... is that everything in this bag? Yeah. Some of the apparel that he's been making lately are of a little bit of a darker variety clothes. And I guess he decided he should do some stain prevention stuff just so he can, I guess, cover bases. I don't know. I don't speak for Danny Chu. That's just my hypothesis or my theory. So inside the DHL bag was this little bag here. And inside the little bag, we have stain prevention outfits. Look at that. Move that off to the side. Now, it is important to note that this stain prevention outfit is in the milk color. Not cocoa, cinnamon, or tea, milk. And it's currently sold out at the moment as of the recording of this video. So unfortunately, if you wanted the milk color, you can't get it anymore unless you buy it secondhand from somebody. But the reason why I bought two of them in milk color is because, one, I could only afford two. I really needed three of them, but I only had enough money to get two. And the second reason is because I love my Chitose so much. And my very first dolls were actually Kizuna and Mirai. They were the very first versions of Kizuna and Mirai when Danny Chu started his business. And Chitose obviously was the third doll that he released, and they are my most prized possessions. And I really want to keep them in good condition. So none of my girls are stained. I've always kept them in very good shape, and I always was very mindful of what kind of clothing I put on them. But they are getting old, and I've been in this hobby for maybe, I think, six or 7 years now, I think it is. And vinyl bodies, they hold up pretty well, but I don't know how well they do over time. So just as a preventative measure for myself, because I don't know what the vinyl will be like in 10, 20 years from now. I don't know how well it's going to hold up or not. But I figured, if anything, this will keep it clean from staining and from light, like any kind of sunlight or artificial light, like beaming down on them. Maybe it will help prevent something, but I really don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a tech person. I don't know the ramifications of vinyl and deterioration or anything like that. I know none of that. This is just all my assumptions, okay? But I figured, why not get them? Plus, it does hide the joints from what I could see. So we're going to do that. I have Chitose over here. I can't fit Mirai on the table, but Mirai is down on the floor right now. And we are going to unbox these little things and take a look at them. So first off, let's move Chitose out of the way. And then what we're going to do now is I'm going to use my trusty smaller camera to get a really close shot of these bodysuits, and we are going to take a closer look at them before we put them on the dolls. So let's go and do that. All right, everybody. So as you can see, we are now on the smaller camera, and we're going to take a closer look at these two beauties. Well, really just one, because the other one's the same. So this is the Smart Doll packaging for the Milk bodysuit. So you can see here, this is the person that did my my quality control. Whoever you are, Mel361, thank you for your quality assurance. And let's get this open. So we are going to open this up. All right, move that over to the side. This looks like we have the pants that's all moved up here. Hold on. Yeah, so these are the pants. It's long, long pants. And as you can see here, it's just a elastic band. I'm assuming where this little thing is going to be the back. I'm going to just look at here. Yep, so yeah, you got this. So this goes all the way up into the torso, which we're going to look at once we put it on the bodies. And then you have this really long leg extension here. Then this part, let's see here, this is going to be the bust. Oh look, it has a little Mirai tag on there. Oh, upside down for you guys. There you go. The black Mirai black label, as I'm calling it. Then I'm assuming these holes, yeah. So these holes are for where the arms go into the bust. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. There you go. And this is the neck part, which right here, it doesn't look like it was, yeah, if you can see this, it doesn't look like it was sewed on the edges. It's just kind of just snipped right here. I don't know what that means in long term, like if this will fray or not. I really don't know the ramifications of whatever this is. It's spandex or whatever this is made out of. But it's not, yeah, it's like that on, it's actually like that on all these open edges here, except for where the elastic band is. I think it's the same. Oh no, see on the pants right here, you can see the edges here is actually sewn. So I don't know how much of a difference that'll make on the torso piece or not, but we will see. Then this here is for the arms. It's just, you got the elastic band where it goes in, and let's see the edge. So it looks like the edge of the arms too are, they're just cut. They're just cut short. They are not, what's it called? They're not hemmed or seamed at the edge from what I can tell. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a little blurry. Hold on. Can you see that? Yeah, so I don't know why it's not focusing very well, but yeah, there you go. There, that's probably better. It's a little, yeah, it's not seamed at the end. But those are the pieces right there. Those are the two pieces. So that's pretty good. All right. All right, everybody. So here we are. I got my table here. Don't mind these little things. They're not going to stain my doll. It's actually just weird scuff marks that are on there. So don't pay that any attention, even though you already saw it. So let's put on the body pieces. And the first one I want to do for the bodysuit is tackle the pants. So unfortunately, I do not have a good setup where you can see the full length of the pants as I'm putting them on, but I will try my best. This is just something that I got to work with my limited space. So hopefully, here's a full warning, hopefully you guys are not offended by doll nudity, because as we are putting a bodysuit on the doll, they have to be naked for that. So be warned, here we go. So this is the torso piece, okay, of Chitose. For those of you that are new to the hobby, this is the original Smart Doll frame, and it came in the milk color, the same color as the doll, whereas the newer ones are now darker orange, especially on these ball joints. It was darker orange, and these are definitely, now the shoulder pieces are a different shoulder piece. But for those of you that have been in the hobby for a while with Smart Dolls, this looks all too familiar. But those of you that are new, just a little thing I just wanted to add in there. So then you have the rest of the torso piece all still together, and the feet. So it is thing to know, you probably should take off the feet, as it would make things so much more easier, as I'm going to do now. You're just going to wiggle it out, just wriggle it, as Danny Chu says, like so. There we go, and it's coming. There we go. And Just wriggle it a little bit. I can't make the cool noises he does. What does he do? Woot, 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 something like that. I tried, Danny. I can't do it. So here we go. I'm going to take this piece. Now I personally am going to put this part with the extra seam here where they kind of sewed everything all together. That's going to be the back. I'm assuming that's for the back, so I'm going to do that. We're going to take this and slide her two legs in, just like so. And let's see. There we go. We got the two pieces separate. And we're just going to keep on moving this up. And just kind of wriggle it back and forth. There we go. And then move it up like so, and you could see there's the hole. That looks a little inappropriate, but that's the hole for the socket. That was not meant to be inappropriate, actually, but it came out that way. Now you're going to notice here's the crotchal area, and there's like all this space because I haven't pulled it all the way up. So we are going to continue to pull it up some more, as far as up as we can get it to get flush with the crotch and with the socket joint. Let's see. There we go. So as you can see right here, the socket joint lines up. Now it doesn't, let me see, my lighting is not working. It's usually too bright, but you could see here, there's a lot of space here in between the actual, like if I push this extra down, like you could see that extra space there. This is normal. So don't think this is abnormal. This is normal. It's same thing with Dolphy Dream bodysuits or US Cool Cats bodysuits. They all have a little extra, and when we put the jeans on, it'll move it up anyways. Now, this is it from the front right here, and you could see it here. It's not quite over, so I can probably pull it some more. Get it some more. Okay, there we go. So now you could see the top, how it covers the whole torso, and then from the inside, you could see it covers all around the inner, where you can kind of like push the edge in a little bit. And that you won't see this part because that'll be covered. This will be covered up by the bust. So this is really nice. I like this, that you can actually have it in separate piece, because all the other doll companies have it as just like a one-piece suit. It's just a one-piece bodysuit. I like that this is multiple pieces, because this can actually hug and hide in there and form fit the body so much more better than I feel like the other companies' brands. This is really, really nice. And don't mind this extra fabric. This is normal. Now at the feet. So here you go at the feet. You could see this is the edge. Let me close the legs a little bit so it's easier to see. This is the edge, and this is all the extra length that you have. This is also normal from what Danny Chu says, because you're going to put the feet on and it's going to cover over, which I'm going to show you guys right now as we move the fabric up. I'm going to move it up so that, let me see, and get it over the leg. There we go. We're going to move this up. Kind of wriggle it and get it over the edge. Come on. I'm trying. This is a lot harder because I'm doing it with one hand, as I have the other hand holding the other half of the doll. There we go. So you can see it's bunched up a lot, and that's because it's supposed to go over the feet. So we are going to take the feet and we are going to put it back on and just wriggle it like so. Right? Did I get that right? Did I get that sound right? Let me just do this. You can go. That was much easier. So we got the feet on, and we are just going to slide this down. Okay, so it's a lot more flush. You can see at the knee, and all this extra fabric is going to go down and over the foot, right? So let me get my hand back here, because it's going to be hard to kind of pull it over the foot, I guess. Oh, yeah. It's definitely... Maybe I should have done it by putting on the bodysuit with the feet on. I actually thought it would be so much easier to do it without the feet on. But apparently, not so much. So, for you watching this video, learn from my mistakes. I guess leave the foot on. because now it's hard to get it over that little lip of the foot. Look at that. Wow, I totally messed that up. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna redo this real quick, as you guys will learn from my mistake. So we're gonna wiggle this out. All right. And okay. And we're gonna try this again. Let's see. I'm gonna remove the body stocking off. See, you live and you learn, right? You live and you learn. I could have easily edited this out of the video, but I want my videos to be showing all my mistakes and all my flaws so that you guys will know that, you know, I'm only human. I make mistakes just as much as anybody else. So we are going to take this down. But maybe perhaps you want to see a video without the flaws. I don't know. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Let me know. Do you guys like seeing that I make mistakes, or do you want to have like a video that's been edited and curated in a sense where you do not see that? Because it's also probably a waste of your time, right? You don't want to spend time watching somebody mess up. So let's try this again. We got the feet on. We are going to put the body stocking over, just like so. Let's see. Make sure that the legs are separated. Yep, I got them in. See, this is the problem. See, they get caught on the feet. So we're gonna wriggle this up. Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Wriggle, wriggle. Okay. We're getting there. I'm gonna wriggle. There we go. Let's move some of this fabric up. You can see I'm just pushing the fabric up. And we are gonna pull this up. I'm gonna need more fabric here. So as you can see on the feet, it's already dangling here, but we are gonna need more fabric to get over the rest of the body. Okay. So you're gonna pull some more up here at the top. There we go. There we go. So we got the Smart Doll socket there, now in place. And we have the rest of the torso covered up into the hole of the Smart Doll opening for the torso, where the frame pops out. So there we go. So now we're going to go back to the feet, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to move the fabric up the leg a little bit, move it up the leg a little bit, like so. And you can see right here, that's how it's supposed to look, covering just over the toes, like so. And we're going to do that for the other leg here. Just going to move the fabric up to where it's just covering the toes. So here we go. So now you see it's pretty much just covered over the toes to keep that stain prevention for the feet, for the shoes as well. Here's the back part of it. Now there's these seam lines, which I tend to put on all my dolls' bodysuits in the inner part of the thigh, so that it doesn't show on the outside, it doesn't show on the back really, and you don't really see it in the front at all either. Now you have this little bit of fabric that's kind of gone now that I pushed it up a little bit, so you don't really see it too much. You don't really see it too much in the back as well. We have our support socket and everything put in here. So the torso and leg piece is now done. I'm going to put that off to the side. So now we are going to tackle the bust piece, and we have our little bust piece right here. Now if you look at the inside, you have the Mirai logo, which I'm assuming goes in the back part of the bust. So I'm going to flip this over and just kind of put it right on top, like so. Okay, so then we're going to pull this down over there. And the neck piece, you just kind of like pull it down, I think, until there is a little exposure. So let me see if I can get this on the way I want it. I'll put this here and like this. So this is the way I'm going to do it for mine. So you're going to see here it covers over, and you're going to have the hole is the only thing that's exposed. There's going to be the fabric all around the top part, and then you can see in the back here, you see the label. This is in the back, so this is the front obviously, and the label I put in the back. I'm assuming that's how it's intended. Now the seam lines of this is going to be right down the middle, and you have your arm peg holes, which is right here. Okay, and then this one as well, you can see the arm peg holes. So you can just put my finger right through it. You got the arm peg holes right there, and it covers the bust like so. So this way, this is nice, because if you look at it head on, right, you can't see. I mean, you could see it now because it's not on the doll, but once you put this on the doll, it'll kind of be like pushed in like this, and it looks almost seamless, which is really nice. This is an ingenious design for a bodysuit. I don't know why other companies haven't done it this way. This is awesome. As my first impression. Maybe in a couple months it'll move too much where I won't like it, but right now this is great. So this is the bust piece. Move that off to the side, and let's get the arms. So here are the arms. So my initial plan was to take off the hands, but I'm going to try and leave the hand on and see if that is a better option, so this way I don't have that issue. So now these arm pieces are not labeled left or right. I do not believe that makes any such of a difference whatsoever. So I'm just going to take the elastic band piece here and kind of sneak the hands. Now I have the closed fist hands, so it kind of makes it easy, I'm assuming, just to get it over and into the elastic part. There we go. And we are just going to do the same thing as we did with the torso piece and just kind of like wriggle it. See, this is the thing I was talking about, where, see, the hand kind of gets caught. So let's try it with this hand on, and then we'll do the other sleeve with it off. So we're just going to slide and just keep on pulling as it gets closer to the edge. Oh, nope. Nope. See, it gets too tight. It gets too tight where you can't put it through. So that is not the way to do it, people. So it's opposite for the feet. Easier to keep the feet on, but here we should probably take the wrist joint off. So we're going to wriggle it. There we go. Little pop noise. Let's try this again. So we're going to take this and slide this in like so. And it slides so much easier into place without that hand part on. Especially if you have the open hands, it would probably be even harder. Now I'm going to move the seam line onto the side where the ball socket is, so that you don't see it as much. It should be covered for the most part. Okay. So there we go. So now you have this, how you can see the hole here, how it's just kind of covered. I think it looks really good. Now I don't know if this little bit of extra fabric here is going to affect when it goes into the socket, but I don't think that it will, to be honest. And then you could see here all the way down, there's not too much excess here that you could see, but when you do bend the arms, you are going to see like the fabric bunch. You won't see it on the back, obviously, but when you bunch it up here, you're going to see that fabric bunch, and that's normal. That's absolutely normal for all bodysuits up to this date that I know of, from Cool Cats to Volks. It all does that. So that's pretty nice. Now we are going to take the hand piece and going to look down in there and see the hole, and we are just going to slide the hand piece in there and just wriggle it. I keep doing the noise, Danny, and I can't do it like you. So there we go. So we got the hand piece in, And that's a nice, it doesn't cover the ball joint unless I do something to cover the ball joint. Maybe you're supposed to take the hand piece off to do that, but that's how that comes out so far. Let's try it differently with the other one. So I'm going to move that off to the side. Now for this one, I'm going to try it differently. Let's actually take off the hand for this one. We're just going to wiggle. This might not work too well because I didn't warm up the hand. It's usually a lot easier when you warm up the hand. Because it's made out of soft vinyl, if you like put a blow dryer to this and warm it up, it's a lot more pliable to be able to get off of the hand peg. So I'm going to try this one differently. We're going to take our little body piece and put this over the hand peg, which also slides in very nicely. It's just the hands itself that gets caught. Let's see. Get this over. Am I getting this? There we go. Let's get this over. Slide it on. Like so. There we go. Let me see if I can get this. There we go. Get over there. Again, I'm going to line up the seam lines here. If you could see. I'm going to line up the seam lines here with this. So that this little hole cuttings, because that's going to be the inner part of the arm that faces the body. It's the most least seen part of the body, at least. So we're going to put that seam line like this. Now you're going to have the hand, look at this, where it covers over the ball joint. Ah, this is even nicer. This is nicer because it covers the ball joint. You still see that there's a ball joint there, but it does cover it. Now the only problem I'm going to see with this, right, between the two hands, let me put the hand back on. And then I'll show you guys. Slides right over the hand. So here's the difference between the two. Wait, can you see that? Hold on, there we go. So this one, the ball joint is not covered, and this one, the ball joint's covered. So it looks a little nicer, but when you want to move the hands, you can actually move this, and you could see the line cut out here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's like that line where you can move the hand up and down. You can easily see that. Whereas now, with this one, I don't know where it is. I have no idea where it is. So if you move it in the wrong way, it could break. I don't know where it is. There we go. I found it. So that is a risk if you do it this way that you're going to have to take, and not being able to see the hand joint. I actually don't like that risk. So let me see if I can slide this off enough. Okay. And then I'm just going to take this off. There we go. I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to put the hand back on. Slide that on there. So let me just make my seam line. So now I can actually see the seam line here, so I can move the hand and not worry about accidentally moving the wrist joint in the wrong direction and snapping the hand off. Now again, this is personal preference. I guess you don't have to do it this way. You could do it the other way where it's covered. But one thing that we do know, us doll people, and for you new people, this is a good tip. When you put on certain doll clothing, you do have to take off the hands, or it's easier to take off the hands to put the arms through the sleeve or any kind of clothing like a jacket, and then just pop the hands back on. So if you have this bodysuit and you do that, you're going to lose this covering over the hand joint. So that's just something you're going to have to get used to if you own this bodysuit. But that's really all the pieces. So that's everything, yeah. We're going to, let's put it all together. So I'm just going to put it all together here. Here's the bodysuit right here. We are going to take our little bust piece and slide it into place. Now here comes the first issue. So this covers most of the hole, right? So when you slide this in, it hits the shoulder joints. So I guess you're going to have to finagle it somehow to go over the shoulder joints and then slide it on. So here we go. We can put that there. And get this and slide it on There we go. And you can see here the hole lines up with the socket joint. I don't know if you could see that. The socket joint's right there. And now you could see the transition from this piece to this piece. You don't see any of that extra fabric sticking out because it's all covered inside. I mean, you could clearly see it's two separate pieces. So I don't know if aesthetically if this would bother you, seeing just these lines from the breaking point of the doll. This is just falling off because of gravity. It's upside down. But yeah, when it's flush against the doll, I mean, I think it looks good. I don't know if that's aesthetically unpleasing to some of you out there, but I think it looks great. So we are going to take the arm and kind of find the, where's the slit? There's the opening. This is hard to do on camera. So I'm going to go and where is the cutout? There's the cutout. And slide that into the joint socket. Gonna hold the shoulder. There he is. I'm just gonna pop it on. The older dolls, when you slide the arms in, it doesn't make a click like the newer dolls. So that's just one thing to note. And then the other side. Okay, so this other side here, we are going to put this on. So here we go. I'm going to slide this peg hole into there. I'm going to hold the bust together and hold them by the shoulder blades. And if I can find out where, there we go. And we're going to slide that right on. Okay. So now the arms are in and you could see how nicely that looks. I mean, you could still see the hole where the arm goes into, but it looks great. It's like you don't see the extra the ends of the fabric because it's actually covered when you put the arms into the socket. So it's actually really quite nice. Now obviously when I put the head on, there really is no real way I can show you how covered this will look, but you can see from the neck joint, this is pretty wildly covered. And I don't know if you could tell, but you can actually see the collarbone indentation through here. If you have the push-up bra, the push-up bust, I don't know if it'll show any kind of cleavage. It probably won't. But it's interesting that you can actually see the collarbone popping out of the bodysuit. So that's nice. So we are going to go to the bigger camera and show you guys what it looks like right now. So let's go and do that. All right, everybody, so we are back on the main camera. As you can see, both my two lovely ladies here, Mirai and Chitose, are in their bodysuits. So this is definitely a cool bodysuit. As you can see right here, they both look wonderful, and they're not shy right now about being naked because they are pretty much covered. They are in their bodysuits. Think of it as they're in their bathing suits in a way. So they're not really totally naked. But yeah, here they are in their bodysuits. And I really do like the design. It hugs all their curves just the right way. It hides the ball joints for the cutouts for the knees and the ball joints in the elbows. And like I said earlier, if you wanted to cover the ball joints for the hands, you could, and that will give it a little bit more of a seamless look, so you don't see like the slits for the wrists. But like I said earlier, I like exposing that piece because when I move their wrists around, I like to know where that line is or that notch is, and I'm afraid that if I cover it, one of these days I'm going to be moving their hands without thinking and then snap the hands off. So that, again, is a personal preference for you, whether or not you want to cover the ball joints of the wrists or leave them uncovered. But you do have that option, as I showed earlier, that you can actually have them covered or not covered. Also, the same thing with the feet. Make sure that you cover the feet and not pull up all the fabric, because it is not supposed to... what's it called? No, rather, it is supposed to cover over the feet and not supposed to leave the feet exposed. That's why you have that extra length of fabric there. And then all the joints, like the extra pieces under the bust and in the arms, they all, like, the extra fabric like goes seamlessly into the holes, which is nice, and you don't see that extra fabric sticking out. Other doll companies that I know that make bodysuits, from personal experience, they do have a lot of extra loose fabric, either in the arm or the legs or around the bust part, depending on what size bust that you may have on their dolls. And it also, for the other doll companies, is that you might have a zipper showing in the back. Like, some doll companies have a zipper holding it together in the back, and it comes up to the neck where it shows maybe a little bit. You'll see like the actual zipper. And then some doll companies, you'll have a little extra fabric around the neck, which will look what's the word? Wrinkly, because there's too much extra fabric, so it's kind of like scrunched up there, and there's nowhere to hide it. So I like how with these new bodysuits from Smart Doll, that if there is any extra fabric that you want to hide, it actually could be pushed into the sockets area and hidden in the sockets area or under the bust, or at the very least you can pull the leg fabric down more to cover more of the feet, because I mean, I don't think you're going to have your bodysuit open just like this without any clothing on. So normally you're going to have shoes on. So the shoes will cover the extra fabric that's there. And it's a very thin fabric that these bodysuits are made out of. So it's not like the bunching up of this fabric is going to create too much of a, how should I say it? Like, inability to have the clothes fit properly or the shoes fit properly, because it's very thin. And now I know that Smart Doll clothing and shoes are very, very form-fitting, but these will be able to go onto them just fine. And if not, I will correct this in a later video. But as of right now, I'm going to end it here, because if I put them in clothing, you won't be able to see the bodysuits. So this is them. They look fantastic. I highly recommend the bodysuits if you want any kind of stain prevention whatsoever. These are great options for these dolls. And if you're worried about the skin color matching, there is a little bit of difference. So when I showed you earlier in the video, it looked very, very pink. Now when you put the bodysuit over their bodies, the fabric actually stretches out, and that pinkish hue gets lighter and lighter. So the skin actually does match. Now it doesn't match 100% from the vinyl to the bodysuit. Now that could be different reasons. That could be, one, because the color coding for fabric and the vinyl, there's no way to get it exactly the same. Even for other doll companies, as far as I know, that make different kind of skin tone colors and different variations, I've never personally run into a bodysuit that perfectly matched the color of the vinyl color. So this one obviously is not a 100% match, but it's very, very close. Now the other reason why the bodysuit color may not match your doll is also from use. How old is your doll? How long do you keep your doll under sunlight? Or how long do you leave your dolls outside if you do photo shoots? Exposure to the sunlight, oxygenation, all that kind of stuff. All that technical jargon that I personally do not have the answers for, but I know that they exist. Like, can we say that much? Go as far as to say that those things do exist and those things do happen. Weathering happens to anything. Dolls are not immune to that. It happens to figures. It happens to cars. It happens to anything that you own. You get color fade. So there's a chance that the bodysuit might not 100% match up to the color of your doll because of those reasons as well. But for me personally, on my personal dolls, the color match is pretty close to the point where I'm content with it. And even with other doll company bodysuits, when you put them on dolls, obviously the colors don't match exactly the same on those either. But it's enough where I'm comfortable with the look and it doesn't bother me. But if the color difference bothers you a lot, then I do not recommend that you buy these products, either for Smart Doll or any other doll company, because even my Volks Dolphy Dream bodysuits do not match the exact color skin tone that they are for. For case in point, Milk here for Smart Doll, the equivalent to that with what they call normal skin or flesh colored skin for Dolphy Dream, and if you get that skin tone color for the bodysuit, it doesn't match 100% to the doll anyways. So those are a little bit different. Dolphy Dream tends to be a little bit darker in color than the actual skin tone. Also, for another one I've tried out was another company called Cool Cats. They have different variation of colors, but those also, me personally, I haven't had anything match up 100% to the color of the vinyl doll. You can get it very close, but not 100%. Now, if I'm wrong on that, let me know in the comment section down below where you found a bodysuit that matched 100% the color of the vinyl doll skin. Because I think that would be very hard to do, as making color on fabric versus on vinyl, it's just hard to match. But let me know in the comment section down below if this video helped you, if you want more videos like this, but I think this is a great product. Definitely look into it while it's still available. I don't know if Danny Chu is going to be making more. He said it's possible this could be the last run of them, depending on how sales go. I do know that the Milk, as of the filming of this video, that Milk is sold out. But I believe Cinnamon, Tea, and Cocoa are still available, so if you have any of those skin tone color dolls, you may want to get a bodysuit to protect them as well. But again, bodysuits are personal preference, whether or not you want to use them for your stain prevention on your smart dolls, because like I said earlier in the video, smart dolls vinyl are pretty good, but they're not infallible. They can get stained still, so you may or may not want to do a vinyl bodysuit. But this is my review and my unboxing of these vinyl suits. I think they're great. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But that is it for me, Mirai, and Chitose, and we will see you guys in the next video.
This is our time, this is our life. Sometimes all you need is a smile to get by.